In this video, I am going to start electrostats. Electrostatic is a new branch of physics in which we study about charges. It is also called static electricity. So, electrostatic or static electricity or frictional electricity. So, we can see that electrostatic is a branch of physics in which we study about charges, and that charges are taken in a rest condition. That's why it is called static electricity. Static means rest. In electrostats, we study about charges, and that charges are produced due to friction. That's why it is also called frictional electricity. So, before going to start or to study the detail of this chapter, first we should know origin of the charges. How can we produce charge? Origin of the charge. So, here as you know that an atom is a neutral. It has equal number of positive charge and negative charge. Positive charges are called protons and negative charges are called electrons. And the total number of protons and electrons are equal. This is also called atomic number. Atomic number is the number of protons present in the nucleus, or it is the number of electrons present in the orbital shell. So, an atom is a neutral part. There are two categories of an atom. In some atoms, electrons are loosely packed, whereas in some atoms, electrons are tightly packed, depending upon its size. If you see the type of forces present in an atom, then you find that in the nucleus, proton and neutrons are present. So we can say it is a nuclear force which binds proton and neutron together. Whereas proton, that is Coulombic proton that attracts electron with a force, that is called nuclear pull, or it is a type of electrostatic force also. So if we compare nuclear force and electrostatic force, then we find that nuclear force is a stronger force, whereas electrostatic force is a weak force. So we can say that electrons are held weakly, less tightly to the nucleus than protons and neutrons. So these electrons can be removed from an atom, and when electrons are removed, then either positive or negative charge will develop on an atom. So this is very important part, that atom has two types of force. First is the nuclear force, and second is the electrostatic force. Very important point. This nuclear force present between proton and neutron inside the nucleus. Whereas electrostatic force is the force that nucleus apply on electron. So we can say that protons applies on electrons. So it is electrostatic force. if we compare the strength of the nuclear force and electrostatic force, then we find that nuclear force is a stronger force, whereas electrostatic force is a weak force. And second thing, we have studied that in the periodic table, when we go across the period, atomic size decreases, nuclear pull increases. So we can say that in metals, electrons are loosely bound to the nucleus because size of metals are bigger, whereas non-metals, electrons are tightly packed to the nucleus. That is, their size is smaller. So if we allow friction, mind it, if we allow friction between two bodies, then it may be possible that electron can be transferred from loosely bound atom to the tightly bound atom, loosely bound electron to the tightly bound electron of a given element, and those atoms from where electrons are lost, they will develop positive charge, and those atoms where electrons are gained, that will develop negative charge. So we can say that friction is responsible for the production of charges, either positive charge or negative charge. Positive charge means loss of electron, whereas negative charge means gain of electron. Positive charge means deficiency of electron, negative charge means excess of electron. So in this way, the origin of electrostatic took place. So we can say that it is the friction which is responsible for the development of discharge, that is electrostatics. I want to give some list of the elements that when we apply friction, which body will develop positive charge and which body will develop negative charge. Positive charge, glass rod, fur or woolen clothes, woolen coat, woolen carpet, nylon acetate, dry hair. Very, very important points. Here it is important to note positive charge. There are glass rod. Second is the fur or woolen clothes. Third is the woolen coat. Fourth is the woolen carpet. Fifth is the nylon acetate. And sixth is the dry hair. As in the board exam or different competitive exam, we get multiple questions. So, questions can be asked that if glass rod is rubbed with a silk cloth, what is the charge developed on glass rod? Or if dry hair passed with the, if comb is passed with the dry hair, then what will charge develop on the comb? So, this is very, very important that positive charge where are these elements. Similarly, negative charge are silk cloth, ebonite, amber, rubber rod, plastic sheet, rubber shoes, clothes, and comb. This is very, very common questions that when dry hair is passed through comb, that dry hair will develop what type of charge? Dry hair will develop positive charge, whereas comb develop negative charge. So in this way, we can judge what type of charge is present on the given substance when friction is allowed between them. And after development of positive and negative charge, a type of force will develop, that is electrostatic force or electrostatic equilibrium force. So these are the part of origin of the charges. That charges are two types. One is the positive charge and another is the negative charge. Second, what is the nature of the charges? And how will we define charge? So we can see that charge is an inherent property of a body. Inherent, that means tendency of a body to have a charge. As the body has mass, similarly a body has charge also. We cannot imagine a body without charge. Atom is neutral. It doesn't mean it has no charge. No, definitely it has charge, but it appears neutral because it has equal number of positive and negative charge that will neutralize each other. So we can say that atom is neutral, but we cannot say that atom is chargeless. Second thing here that we have to know that what is SI unit of charge. So first we should explain what is charge. We can say that charge is an inherent property of a body. We cannot imagine chargeless body. SI unit of charge, normally we express charge in coulomb. But in SI unit, it is ampere second. Ampere second. And its dimension, this is the dimension of the charge. This is very important part. Dimension is one of the most important part of the physics, and in the board exam and even in the competitive exam, either it is a NEET exam or GMAINS exam, one question every year can be asked from the dimension part. So you have to know the dimension part of a given substance. So we have discussed that what is electrostatic, why it is called static electricity or frictional electricity. When we allow friction between two bodies, which body will develop positive charge and which body will develop negative charge, what is charge and what is SI unit of charge, what is the dimension of the charge. Next that we need to study, that is differences between charge and mass. But before, we have to know properties of the charge. What are the important properties due to which it becomes very special? The first property of charge is additive in nature. It means just charge is a scalar quantity, and the way we add scalar quantity, similarly we will add all the charges. And just like algebra, suppose if a body has 4 coulomb, minus 5 coulomb, minus 10 coulomb, plus 15 coulomb. So we can say that total charge present on the body is plus minus 4 minus 10 plus 15. We simply add it using concept of algebra. Second concept that is important, charge is quantized. This is very important part, that is charge present in a lump or discrete packets, discrete lamp. The total charge present on a body is equal to an integral multiple of charge. Here Q is equal to plus minus Ne, plus for the positive charge, minus for the negative charge. That is its importance. What is the importance of quantization of charge? That charge always be transferred from one body to another body in the form of discrete lamp or in the form of packets. So the third property, that is charge is conserved. Its meaning is charge cannot be created. Conservation means we cannot create anything, we cannot destroy anything, but we can transfer a charge from one body to another body. Charge is the inherent property of a body. It means every body has charge. So creation of charge is not possible. Destruction of charge is not possible. We are just transferring charge from one body to another body, and there are two methods by which we can transfer charge. One is the conduction and second is the induction. In case of conduction, transfer of charge takes place between two bodies when they are in touch, when they are in contact. Suppose if one body has 10 coulomb of charge and another body has minus 50 coulomb of charge. Positive charge means deficiency of electron. Negative charge means excess of electron. So suppose these two bodies are connected by a conductor. That conductor in terms of metal. What will happen? Charge developed on both the body is in the form of its average. So suppose this is A and this is B. Then charge on A is equal to charge on B. This is 10 minus 50 by 2. This is minus 40 by 2. This is minus 20. Each body will have equal charges. The distribution of charges will take place unless the body will have common charge. They will have common charge. Charges will be divided in this way, that average of the two. Suppose this body has minus 10 coulomb, this body has minus 2 coulomb. Then also we will take, suppose this body has, first question, in the second question, first body has minus 10 coulomb and second body has minus 40 coulomb and both are connected by a wire conductor. Then charge develops on the two body will be minus 10 plus minus 40 divided by 2 is equal to minus 50 by 2 is equal to minus 25 coulombs. So we can say that in this way charge will transfer from one body to another body. Induction is another process in which charge can be transferred between two bodies without any touch. If a charged body is taken near of another neutral body, then charge can be induced on neutral body. But here one thing is important, that in conduction equal charge will transfer. After transferring, both the body will have similar charges. But in induction, the charged body, when a charged body is taken near a neutral body, the charge present on the neutral body is opposite to the charged body. So, for this I am using one example. Suppose a insulated metallic sphere, neutral insulated metallic sphere is taken. Its name is given B. And a glass rod having positive charges are taken near to it. This is, both are not in touch, they are taken near to it. We observe that here all the, if this body is neutral, it means it has equal number of positive and negative charges. So as it is positive, all the negative charges will shift here, will migrate here due to electrostatic force, that is near side of the insulated sphere. The near side develop negative charge opposite to this, and the farther side it will develop positive charge. Whatever charge present in this sphere, that will divide in such a way that near side will be opposite to that and farther side will be similar charge. Now, if we connect this by earthing through a metallic wire, what will happen? These all positive charges are neutralized by the earth, because earth provides free electron, so these all charges will be neutralized. Then, if we remove this, it is disconnected from the earth, then the body is, what will happen here? Here, minus charge will appear. All positive charge will neutralized by the electron provided by the earth. And third case, if we remove this glass rod, then we find that this metallic sphere will have charge, it is uniformly distributed over negative charge. So, we have observed that this body was neutral in the beginning, and a glass rod with positive charge is taken here to it. So here the charge that appears, it is opposite to the charge taken it. So we can say that in conduction, charges, equal nature of charges are transferred from higher body to lower body, from higher charges to lower charges, from negative charges to positive charges. Whereas in conduction, opposite charge will be transferred. If body will have not transferred, induced. We can say induced. If the body has positive charge, then the other body will have negative charge that will induce. This is called induction. So, after getting these concepts, there are some questions that I have taken from NCERT book. It is very, very important questions. I am writing these questions. So, whatever concept I have given in this video, from that concept, these are the questions that can be asked. First, a polythene piece rubbed with a wool is found to have a negative charge of 3.2 into 10 to the power 7 coulomb. Find number of electrons transferred. This question is based on quantization of charge. Q is equal to N into E. Q is the charge present on the body. It is given 3.2 into 10 to the power 7. And we need to find an electron charge we know. So we can find N 3.2 into 10 to the power 7 and 1.6 into 10 to the power 19. 2 into 10 to the power 7 into 10 to the power 19. So we can say 2 into 10 to the power 12 electrons are being transferred. This question based on quantization of charge. Second question, which is bigger, a coulomb or a charge on electron? Charge on electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So it is a very small unit, whereas 1 coulomb is a bigger unit. How many electric charges for 1 coulomb of charge? That is number of electrons. How many electronic charges for 1 coulomb of charge? Same question. Q is equal to Ne. Here Q is 1 coulomb and E 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. This is important questions because in the objective, this question, normally this question you get in this question, this type of question, N is equal to 1.6 into 119 here. Six to 5 into 10 to the power 19, or you can write 6.25 into 10 to the power 18. This is the charge that 1 coulomb, number of electrons that 1 coulomb has. Third question, a comb run through dry hair. A comb run through dry hair attracts small bits of paper. Why? So I have said that when comb is passed through dry hair, it is electrified. Friction will develop. So comb will develop charge. What happens if the hair is wet? If the hair is wet, then there is no proper friction. Or it is rainy day, no proper friction, no proper electrification. The charges will not develop in a proper way. Vehicle carrying inflammable materials like petrols usually have metallic ropes touching the ground during motion. This is very, very important. You might have noticed that in the highway, when the vehicles are running having inflammable substance, then iron chains are running attached with it. Why? Because when the vehicle is in motion, then friction will produce through its body, that is friction between the body of the vehicle and the air. So its outer body part is electrified. Apart from that, tire will also undergoes friction with the ground, so it is also electrified. So heavy amount of charges will produce, and metallic wire, metallic ropes, metallic chain is a conductor. It transfers the entire charges to the earth and make it safe for the vehicle. It is safe for the vehicle. A bird perches on a bare high power line and nothing happens to the bird. All questions are taken from NCERT. A bird perches on a bare high power line and nothing happens because no circuit is completed. Bird is hanging on the wire, so whatever potential that wire has, bird has the same. A person standing on the ground touches the same line and gets a fatal shock because the circuit, person is on the ground, so it is earthed, affected by the earth. So here circuit has been completed. That's why it is fatal. So all these information that I have explained about charges, from that information we can solve all these questions. Now I want to make differences between charge and mass because mass is also associated with a body. We cannot imagine massless body similar to the charge. So is there any difference between mass and charge? If there is a loss of electron, is there a loss of mass or not? So all this information I can get. If I explain charge and mass, very important point, charge and mass. So in order to explain, we can say that charge is always, charge can be positive, charge can be negative, or charge present on a body is zero, neutral. Charge can be positive, we can get positive charge, we can get negative charge, or charges are neutral also. A body has neutral charge also. Mass cannot be positive, mass cannot be negative. Mass is a neutral body. Unit of charge is coulomb, unit of mass is kilogram. SI unit of charge is ampere second, SI unit of mass is kilogram. Dimension of charge is M0 L0 TA. Dimension of mass is M. Charge can be quantized. There is no such type of quantization we get in case of mass. Charge can be conserved. That means you can transfer charge from one body to another body, but there is no such information in mass. Mass present on a body always be fixed. We cannot transfer mass from one body to another body. Charge doesn't vary with the velocity. If you change the velocity, charge will not be affected, but mass will be affected. It is neutral, not quantized, not conserved. Mass depends upon velocity. This is the variation of mass will be. V is the velocity of the body and C is the velocity of light. So these are the information that we have related with charge and mass, and in the next video I will explain Coulomb's law, that is very important points, and electric field lines, dipole. These are very important concepts. From these, whatever topic today I have given in this video, in this part, this is only for your base. Two questions we ask. First is the quantization of charge. You can get short notes from that part. Q is equal to plus minus Ne, and second is the origin of the charge. That is important. The rest part is basic. SI unit and dimension of the charge is also important. How will you define charge? This is very important. Q is equal to I into T. So you can say that if 1 ampere of current is flowing for 1 second, we can say 1 coulomb of charge. If 1 ampere of current is flowing for 1 second, we can say 1 coulomb of charge. So all the information that I have given in this video, these informations are very important for your base, because unless you know origin of the charge, unless you know nature of the charges, nature is two positive charge or similar charges repel each other, opposite charges attract each other, whereas here one more difference you can give, charge is attractive or repulsive both. But the gravitational force is due to mass, and mass always produces attractive force. it will never be repulsive. So these information will improve your base. The next video that I am going to introduce, that video is going to be beneficial for you. That is what is Coulomb's law and the numericals based on that topic. Thank you.